talented people are always the ones on TV shows or in movies. So, but I have always loved it, and so I've always done it. And when I was about 11 or 12 years ago, I was working on a video production in Houston, Texas, with a friend, and he said, "Hey, you have a lot of experience in acting, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I've been doing it a long time." And he said, "You ought to go and audition for this place right here in town called ADV Films. They buy these Japanese shows and they dub them into English, and they're looking for actors." Now, you guys, this was at a time when anime was much smaller than it is now. It was very much a little niche market of direct-to-video stuff, right? A kind of a subculture of people that enjoyed it. It wasn't mainstream. There wasn't a lot of anime on television, with the exception of like maybe a Dragon Ball Z, or maybe Sailor Moon, or maybe Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, like that kind of thing, or Beyblades. Remember Beyblades? Yep. Or back when I was a kid, Speed Racer. I didn't even know that was anime, you guys. I was a big fan of Speed Racer and Kimba the White Lion. I loved that stuff, and I just, you know what? When I was a little kid, I just knew that it was weird and different. I didn't know it was from Japan. I didn't know why it was different. I just knew that I really enjoyed it. And, you know, imagine my surprise when 30 years later, I'm actually a voice actor for anime, and like even interacting and meeting and working with guys that worked on Speed Racer or any of these other shows. So this guy encouraged me to go and audition for this little studio in Houston, and I went and auditioned, and I got cast. And I got cast as Vega in Street Fighter 2.
What?
Yeah.
What? What? I didn't even know that. No.
And so I got cast in that, and then another show came up, and I got cast in the next show, and then another show, and it just kind of took off from there. I didn't plan to be a voice actor. I didn't set out to achieve a voice actor position, you know, nothing. It was literally, that is one reason why I am so overtly, vocally grateful to God, because I didn't plan this for myself. I didn't set out to do it. I didn't beat the pavement and you know, and bang on all these doors to try to get into this. I didn't have this, you know, this fiery, overwhelming passion to be a voice actor. I get these emails sometimes from fans that say, when, you know, what inspired you to be a voice actor? When did you decide you wanted to be a voice actor? And I always write them back and say, this is kind of lame, but nothing. I just always loved acting. I never planned on being a voice actor. I just wanted to be an actor. And so I would take any opportunity that I could to act. Community theater, school programs, church programs, whatever. And the doors opened and I stepped through them. So I give all the credit where it is due, not to me, because I didn't plan it. But that's my story. I mean, I just kind of always loved doing it, and certain opportunities would present themselves, and I would kind of, you know, step in and see what happened. And it's really exploded from there. I was just very fortunate to be on the ground level of anime when it started, because now it would be very difficult. You know, now there are hundreds and hundreds of people that want to audition and get involved, and it would be much more difficult now because there's so many people that want to get in it. So, yes, Sonic.
Just one question, because have you ever actually played WoW?
No. Isn't that lame? I made that commercial. How many of you have seen my World of Warcraft commercial? You did? Oh, that's hilarious. I'll tell you how that happened. The girl that is the head of the Rangers, the girl Mandy, General Mandy, who runs the Rizagul Rangers, called me one day and she said, "Hey, you're a big Star Trek fan. William Shatner made a World of Warcraft video." And I'm like, "Really? What's World of Warcraft?" And she said, "Oh, it's this big online game, it's big, popular, blah, blah, blah. You should look this up, it's really funny." And so I went on YouTube and I looked it up. He said, "I'm William Shatner and I'm a whatever, a shaman. And exactly. And so I watched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So then I clicked on a couple of other links. I'm Mr. T, F not Mohawk, or whatever. And then there was the little guy from Mini-Me. And I was watching, right, and I was watching these commercials, and I'm like, wow, they're just standing in front of a white background. They're just in a white room. And then they show this in-game footage that they cut in. And Mandy, General Mandy, said, you ought to make a World of Warcraft commercial. And I was like, really? And she said, my brother plays it all the time. I could get you the in-game footage. My brother is an undead warlock, right? And I could get you the in-game footage. And like, they even do alchemy sometimes. So I'm like, are you kidding? Really? And so I wrote the little script idea, and I literally took a camera to a friend of mine's studio in Houston that was all white, and nobody else helped me. There was nobody else there. I set up the camera, and I got in front of it, and I'm Vic Mignogna, and I'm a warlock. You know what I mean? And then I would change the angle, and I'm a powerful destructor, blah, blah, blah.